Hey guys, what's up? Unrested here. I just recovered from one whole week of being super sick. As you guys may remember, my last Osoroshii Saturday was me going out to a chemically saturated area of Japan, and that may not have been the wisest idea. I got really sick after that. Yes, I went to the doctor. I got antibiotics. I eventually got better. I had a sore throat, like the last part of it. That was the easiest part to deal with because I could get up and function. But even after recovering, I had a sore throat for like another week after that, and just like like strep throat level pain. It was bad. And before that, at the beginning of it, I had no energy to like get off the couch and move. Like I couldn't enjoy simple things like just being able to draw and stuff like that. It was horrible. Let me just say, I saw some people in the comments talk about, they're like, oh, that place looks really wild, I want to try and go there myself. Don't go there, please. I don't want to be this guy who thinks, oh, I saw it first, it's my place to go to, I'm the only one who gets to videotape it. Look, you can go there if you absolutely want to, but don't. Like, treasure your health. It's way more important than any of my stupid shows or my stupid scary stories or anything like that. Treasure your health over anything else. You can't watch any videos if you are dead. And I should take my own advice. I gotta kind of be a little bit more careful with some of the places I'm choosing in the future. That was a bad idea. I shouldn't have gone there. But I was actually, I was told to take a while off from doing work and everything. Obviously I'm not doing that, seeing as I'm here right now making a video on top of about to go to work. But I'm kind of taking off of like a lot of my research and stuff like that, relaxing a bit, trying to get my energy back, my health back, and I'm feeling pretty good these days. I'm alright. You can probably see it in my face. My face looks like a lot better than it was before. But I was gonna skip doing an Osoroshii Saturday today because I don't know how many people understand this aspect of it, but I gotta do a lot of research. I put a lot of time into that damn show, and it is my least watched show on my YouTube channel. Like literally, I think like episodes that I've made 3 or 4 weeks ago have still only hit like maybe 800 views, which is petty. That is pathetic. That is, like even usually my worst JFAQs get 2,000 views. Just to give you an example, within like a week, my worst JFAQs get 2,000 views. My best get sometimes, my all-time best is like 130,000, I think. Maybe even more than that. I don't know. I don't continuously chip back. But I am researching some stories for the future. I've only like heard small clippets of these stories, and I need to research them more. But I thought just to kind of make a half of an episode today. Sorry, it's not a full-fledged episode that has, all the ghosts on film and everything like that, and eerie music and stuff like that. I'm just literally talking into the camera and giving you some scary stuff I'm working on. I'm not going to go totally without keeping up with these episodes. So consider this kind of like an episode update of future things to come in future Osoroshii Saturdays. I have one that's a personal, well, not my personal story, but a story from a friend. I won't say exactly who she is, but she is a Japanese lady who speaks amazing English. She told me this story. She's actually, okay, I can say this. She's one of my students that I teach English to. And she just recently told me this super creepy story about a nail salon she was going to, where she was getting her nails done by this lady who was like going through some sort of mental anguish. And I'm still getting details on the story. She's telling me like a little bit of it each time we have a lesson. And apparently, like, while she's going through mental anguish, every time she would do my students' nails, like, paint them up and everything, right away the paint and everything would curl up and disappear and break and chip and fall apart. And it kept getting worse and worse, like the paint and the nail polish every time she would go. And the lady would even be like, oh, I'm sorry it fell apart and everything, I'll do it again for free and stuff. And she'd come back, and she said she seemed even more distraught than before, than the last time, and the nails depleted and fell apart and everything even faster the next time. She tried to do gel nail and stuff like that, and they were falling apart over and over as this lady's like mental stability fell apart. And then one day all her like fake nails, like she had like the fake gel nails on top of her normal nails, they all started falling off one by one. And she said she had like never had this happen. It seemed like it had been done in a professional way, like she was normally used to. I mean, this lady had had her nails done a million times. And she said she couldn't understand the nails wouldn't stay on her fingers at all. And they all started to fall off. And like even after they fell off, the nails themselves were starting to crumble and fall apart. And she said that was even more drastic and even more extreme than what had happened before. So she tried to call the lady up and tell her how bad it had gotten. And she found out the lady had committed suicide. So it was like, it felt as though like her mental stability was tied to her work in the nail salon department. I don't know. It was a very creepy story, and my student is like in all sorts of creepy psychic or outlandish spiritual stuff. She's just really surprised that happened. Hello Kitty skull story. Well, this is a really weird story. This one's actually based in China. It's not based in Japan. A woman went to the police telling them that she was being haunted by the ghost of a woman she had murdered a few days ago, like a week ago. And this isn't a week like now, like I'm just saying in the story she said this. The police asked to go back to her house with her and asked her to show them the dead body. She pointed to a Hello Kitty doll, and after ripping apart and tearing into the Hello Kitty doll, it was like a giant one, like one of these like massive, almost like, you know, actual size type ones, probably would like come up to like my shoulder or something like that. They found a human skull and body parts placed into like the same representative parts of the Hello Kitty's body. So like the skull of the woman was inside of the head of the body, the bones were in the arms and stuff. Pretty crazy, right? Apparently that's a true story. That was like in the newspaper in China, but I don't know if you guys know about how reliable resources are from China, but not so reliable. Ever seen that dog was a lion story? You can go check that out if you want. Oh, we got a fan coming here behind me. It's time to go shopping in the car. We're gonna go shopping in the park. I brought my shopping cart into the park because we're going shopping for sand. I'm gonna go shopping for sand and playground materials. Maybe I could just be using it as a walker. Okay, I shouldn't make fun. Okay, story I am researching concerning mental asylums in Japan with patients that never take masks off. And these are like masks, like weird character masks, like anime masks. These people in this mental asylum that I was researching are obsessed with anime characters to the point that they wear masks, because they're very easy to buy in Japan. Like you can go to any kind of matsuri, bazaar, festival or anything, and there's usually these huge booths just full of like little really cheap plastic masks. And apparently there's some cases of people who've put those masks on and never want to take them off because they're so obsessed with the different anime that they like and the characters in there. I can't find more on this story. I found 2 pictures of 2 different people in asylums wearing these masks, and there was just like a small caption below it, and it said like obsessed fans never take off masks in asylum in Japan. And I was just like, holy shit, this is crazy, what the fuck? Like I tried to find more, and I cannot find more on this story. So it may be a total hoax. It may just be like someone making a joke meme type caption or something like that, which could be totally possible. But it was like in Pinterest in like some kind of creepy section that I always explore. So who knows? The person who had written it was Gaijin, though. It wasn't a Japanese person, so, you know, not saying that we are a bad source of information for Japan, but sometimes those of us living outside of Japan do tend to make some very strange articles. For example, eyeball wicking, donut head, and Japanese people never having sex, which are all kind of lies, pretty much. Ramree swamps, the swamps of Ramree. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Apparently, I believe this was World War II, or what it might be, yeah, World War II. There was a battle at a place called Ramree Swamps where the Japanese were beat pretty badly, and there was like 1,000 fleeing Japanese who, to exit the area in which the battle was taking place, they had to run through these Ramree swamps. Well, apparently within these swamps, they didn't know, but there was salt water crocodiles living in there. And apparently it was like a gore fest. Like as they tried to escape through these swamps, these crocodiles just laid into the thousands of troops that ran through there. reports from that time say that about 1,000 Japanese soldiers entered the swamps to try and escape the battle, and about 20 left. In general, these crocodiles were 15 feet in length, and once one Japanese person was killed and blood was exposed into the water, apparently this threw the entire, I don't know, what do you call a group of crocodiles? A pod? That's dolphins, isn't it? I don't know. Someone put in the comments below. A clutch? Maybe it's a clutch. Is it a clutch? Maybe it's a clutch. I know that has to do with eggs, and I know crocodiles are born from eggs. Okay, well, whatever. So about 20 only survived. They said 20 guys walked out of there after 1,000 ran through it, and they were just like absolutely devoured and mauled. Here's a crazy one. This is a 100% true story. There's no doubt about it at all. I mean, it is straight out of a horror flick. I'm gonna have to read the newspaper article verbatim when I do this story. A Navy man living in Japan, and I believe this is up near the Yokohama base, killed his whole family. He killed his wife, his kids, and then the MPs came for him at his house. He fled his house, and while fleeing his house, he jumped on his motorcycle, drove out into the street, was so panicked to escape that he slammed into the side of a bus, was not killed by this, but was merely knocked off his motorcycle. Dazed, he kind of stood up from his motorcycle, and a fucking car hit him dead on, killed him. Like, so imagine this guy, he's covered in blood, he's running, screaming from his house, jumps on his motorcycle, gets to the middle of the highway where he sideswipes the bus, gets knocked off, stumbled around dazed and covered in blood, and right out of nowhere a car just slams into him, kills him. And that ends the whole story and the whole family. I mean, Jesus Christ, right? That's just straight out of a horror film. I'll have to read, this is a very long time ago story. This did not happen recently or anything. And it was taken from an actual news article. I've saved the website. I'm not looking at a computer right now, so I can't read it verbatim. Just my notes. Chinese 3 years of difficulty. Oh, okay, and my last story is about the Chinese 3 years of difficulty. This is during the start of the communist period in China when Mao Zedong ruled China. Apparently went through these 3 years that were called hell on earth, or the 3 years of difficulty as they've been called in Chinese history, because they always try to downplay everything bad that ever happens in their history. There's just crazy stories of starvation, desperation, people cannibalizing one another in order to feed themselves. Apparently there was one small town where so many people starved, only one old woman was left alive in the town, and when public servants came to find her in that town, she was just like stark raving mad because everyone around her had died. And there was one of the most horrific stories they said was of this teenage girl who was the last survivor of her town with her 4-year-old brother, who she then ate. So those are some of the kind of horrific stories that came out of the 3 years of difficulty from China. I always like telling about bad stuff that happens in China because China always want to cover it up, pretend like it didn't happen. Tiananmen Square's real, man. So that's some of the stuff we got coming up, guys. Let me know which stories interest you the most. I am sorry today I do not have a full episode. Nonetheless, I am happy that I did bring you a couple kind of scary things going on in my research. I am also proud to announce, I don't want to say too much right now, but I have a little bit something special in the works for a much farther down the line Osoroshii based video. That's as much as I'm going to say. I have something very, very complex planned, and I'm not giving it any deadline. I'm not giving it any due date because I do not want to rush this project. I'm not saying when it's going to come out because I do not know, and I do not want to know, and I do not want to rush myself because I want to really, really work on this project hardcore. I think you're going to like it. We'll see. We'll see, though. That's as much as I want to say. I don't want to go any farther than that, okay? But I have something special planned for you Osoroshii fans. I know I complain a lot that it doesn't get a lot of views, but I have a lot of passion for this stuff, man. I love horror. I love scary shit, man. It's my lifeblood. You know, I wish I could get more suggestions from you guys. A lot of people watch this show, and they send suggestions, but I think they don't understand is that I try to keep Osoroshii based around Asia. And also they send me a lot of suggestions of like some of the most popular, like Russian sleep experiment. I love that story. That is a great fucking creepypasta, but good lord, that's 100 million years old, okay? people who send me stuff like that, I appreciate you taking the effort, but come on, man, we're looking for original stuff here, man. We're looking, you know, if you send me creepypasta of the month, I've probably already heard it read by some ordinary gamers. You know, all the stuff that you've listened to, I've probably listened to it multiple times. Creepypasta Junior, Mr. Creepypasta, Useless Dave, you know, My Dry Bread, all of his Pokemon creepypasta. I listen, dude. I try to listen to almost goddamn everything. Top 10 lists of the most hellish places on Earth, cracked magazines, you know, scariest places in the world, you know, places that shouldn't exist. You know, I scour. The only way I can come up with this show is I constantly scour the internet. One of the most recent weird things I learned about was the Mariana Net is the net below the deep web. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. That seems a bit creepy. But send me the rarest stuff you can find and try to really surprise me. Really go out of your way to find, like, you know, if you send me Kagome, yes, guess what? I've definitely read that a million times. I know everything about Unit 731, things like that. Try to find me stuff that you're almost 100% sure I've never heard of. I really appreciate the help. I do. I appreciate the suggestions. But the stuff I'm looking for is things that no one else has talked about, because I don't like to just rehash old stuff that every channel has done. I'm not going to be like the 100th person to talk about Sonic.exe or Jeff the fucking dumbass killer. I don't want to talk about those. Sorry if that's your favorite one. I hate Jeff the Killer. I think that's the worst creepypasta I've ever read. Anyway, have a good one, guys. This was Osoroshii Saturday for today, just kind of an update on future stuff. Sorry I don't have a full episode today. Let me get a week to recover, and as I said, please wait. I've got something special planned for you guys who are huge lovers of the series. Until next time, I am unrested. This is Osoroshii Saturday.